right? You can tell a lot about how someone's gonna engage with you in the start of any kind of jiu-jitsu match or anything like that. If they're way back here and they're like this, they're coming for you. They're gonna wrestle, right? If they're like this, they're probably gonna try to pull guard, right? If they're like this or anything like that, they're probably gonna try to throw you, right? You can get a lot of feed input from even just the start of the match when you go combat like this, and if he comes back like this, he's gonna try to wrestle you, right? If he's here, like this, he's probably trying to pull guard, getting into some kind of leg entanglement. With that in mind, we're gonna shut all that stuff down with the same kind of concept, right? If we're going in, we can make inside contact. This is what we're trying to control, right? Any kind of inside contact with a person. What am I doing and what do I mean by inside contact? You see these elbows, see these shoulders, these windows, what I'm trying to control. And same thing when I'm going for single legs and stuff like that. You see I'm trying to control this window and right here, right? Any of that kind of single legs, high crotch, it's all about controlling that inside position, right? So when we're trying to make contact, we want to get in and make inside position, right? So our first drill, so to speak, right? I literally just want you to establish contact, inside positioning, right? AKA either form a collar tie, two sides, one under and here. Good? All right, give that a try.
Clapping.
Except this time, I want you to remember, you got a dome piece. And your dome piece should be employed, right? If he tries to turn into me, he has to step away, right? To be able to center back up. Because if he tries to just step into me, even with just my head there, right? He's not gonna successfully do that, right? I'm filling this gap with a wedge. That wedge just happens to be my head, right? So if I'm like this and like this, right? I now have control of an additional window, right? Because I have put my head there, right? Don't forget to use your dome piece. It can be used in all kinds of spots, right? So when you're coming in here, you get that positioning, use your dome piece. Tracking? All right, give that a try.
Continuity's sake.
Okay, so that is true, right? We don't want our head to be like this. One, I don't want my nose to be broken, right? Any of that kind of stuff. The lower I am with my head, typically the more power I can have, but that's strictly because this is an easier motion, right? And if I was on top and I was able to drive me down. That's not natural to our body and it's not like super strong, right? You can do it, right? Because there's gonna be instances where you're on top of somebody like this, right? You can use your head to tilt or drive them, right? But if you watch, most of the time you want your head just a little lower than them, right? So even if we were head on head, right? And I got this much lower, I'm winning this fight now. Well, sorry, I have a headpiece. It's not exactly fair, right? So our head positioning is important, and you also don't want to be looking at the person. If you're looking at the person in some kind, you're laughing. It doesn't seem like it's intimate, right? You skip anywhere. That's your eyeball, right? You're gonna get a nice little cut here, right? They skip anywhere. Get your nose broken. Get anywhere. Nice little chatter of your teeth, right? So you're actually kind of look down almost, right? If you're looking at them, you're gonna be in trouble. Look down a little bit, right? And your head, you should be using the top of your head, right? And you're gonna basically either drive it into them, right? Or simply use it to touch someone. So a lot of people think that you have to use it to drive. If I drive like this right now, I'm in trouble, right? But if I touch him with it, right? So your head should be a little lower, right? Should make contact, not necessarily drive, right? And if you want to drive, drive with the top of your head, not with like the side of your neck or anything like that. People who drive with the side of their neck, you're weak, right? But you're also doing this to your neck. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna extend the pocket in your shoulder, right? And you are basically either giving them a choke, right? Weakening your own posture because of spinal alignment or all kinds of other stuff. So use the top of your head, not the side of your neck. Questions, comments, concerns? So we established that we need to make inside grips, however we do them, right? So I want you to think about when we're coming in, doing all this kind of contact, right?
It's all right.
All good, all right? You good though?
That's good.
All right, so when we're making these kinds of contacts, right, because of where I'm at, right, and how I'm affecting his body with his inside positioning, right, if I want that single leg, I've got to change levels at where I'm at. If I was already down here, right, controlling those windows, I don't have to change levels, right? So for the sake of this, right, where I'm at, right, here, I'm going to drop, change level, right? I'm not going to do a penetration step. I'm right here. Why would I, right? I'm going to connect, right? And if I'm here, I either want them to come towards me if they're hot, right? Or I want them to go away. I don't like people going away for a hop. I like people coming towards me, right? And then quite simply, you can either do a knee tap, you can run the pipe, your choice, right? All those kinds of things. You can even just lift the leg up, right? I'm being nice with my head, right? He's getting more of a dominant position the longer we talk, right? Because my head's sinking and sinking and sinking, right? Your head should be here. You should be driving them back, right? They should not be comfortable, right? But for the sake of this, right, we're just gonna have a conversation, right? So here, anytime that their knee is close, you can always just grab it and then turn it, right? You can always just grab it, turn it, grab it, right? If you don't wanna do any of that, you can step out and lift the leg up, right? This leg can go really high. I can go, woo, right? Don't recommend it. Your partner's trying to be nice to you, right? Now, if you wanna run the pipe, I do recommend taking the split stance, right? If you're like this and you're like, I'm gonna run the pipe, you're gonna end up in a split stance anyway. So why wouldn't you take the split stance and then run the pipe, right? If you take like this and you're like, I'm gonna run the pipe, good luck, right? Human beings, if they try to rotate like this, right? My legs are always gonna split one way or the other. If I'm already split, I rotate, I'm gonna get a lot more whip. Right, so here, right, any kind of control, change level, right, make contact, right, if I'm here, right, it depends on how close his leg is, but if I'm this close, I'm not doing any bump or anything, I'm literally just gonna take control. Boom, right, if I'm further to the backside and I don't want any of that, you can go to body lock. And we're here, I go for it, they back up, right? When they back up, if I stay here, right, I can just do snap. I'm so sorry, I said slap, right? So oftentimes if you stay connected and you're like, I'm gonna go for it, they back their lower body up, they don't back their upper body up, right? Come into the lock. Tracking? Comments, questions, concerns? All right, after y'all do this, we are both going to be working to get inside position and then either lock on our opponent, right? Or we are going to lift our opponent. Those are the easy ones, right? Now, that's it. No throws, right? No takedowns, right? You win the game, right? If I can get here, right? That's it. Now, if he was in a headlock or something like that, I win if I can lift him, right? If you're in a neutral position where you're both threatened, right? If you can lift the person or you can break it to where you're both, right, don't have a lock, where only one of you has a lock, aka if we were both in a headlock, right? And he's here and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try to grab it, right? And he literally has the same kind of lock which snaps down or anything like that. He's won. I have no real single leg or anything like that. His leg's too far away. Even though I'm touching it, doesn't mean anything, right? And it stops there. That's it. Restart, right? And we go again. Woo. Boom. Here, we restart. Right. Boom. Restart. We're just making contact, getting comfortable with getting in a position. Questions, comments, concerns? All right, let's give it a try. Ready? You did all those things, right? Boom, boom. Played the game, right? Now, instead of just doing this part, we're literally just gonna do one takedown, right? Boom, right? We're gonna follow him down into side control, right? Be nice to your partner, right? So here, boom, boom. I don't care how you do it, but the goal is side control. If you ever take someone down, right, and you're like, aha, right, and you end up in between their legs, you fucked up, right? do the takedown how you really should, right? Half the game of jiu-jitsu is to be past the hip, right? How willing is he, how able is he to fight with his legs right now against me, right? They're past. If I'm down here, right? Do the single leg, and I'm like, whoo, I won, right? He has a lot more fight in him than I have, right? Here, I'm already past all that stuff, right? I don't have to worry about any of it. So, if you're going, always pass the legs, right? We're ending in side control, okay? Questions, comments, concerns? I don't care really how you do it. Single leg is a single leg. Okay.